I had the awareness to recognize that they didn't have a relationship that I wanted. So I wasn't gonna take that advice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, I'm doing my own thing. Like, just like with traveling.
How
Like,
was your experience been in Asia? Because you're Asian. So like, how has your experience been? Like,
Well, I mean, in each country it's been different. Japan,
but again, like during those times where you're thinking about it, you're kind of waiting for what is like maybe a perfect time, but you come to realize that there actually is no perfect time. It's inevitable. You're gonna go through challenges, but if you approach the relationship with the understanding that you will run into those challenges, when they do present themselves, you know how to approach them.
yo guys, I'm with a very nice couple here in Chiang Mai. I wanna hear the story. Why are they in Chiang Mai? Can you give us your story? What's your names? What are you doing in Chiang Mai?
For sure. My name is KT.
and I'm LBJ.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've been traveling throughout the past year, just from a bunch of different cities, different countries across, like the U.S., Japan, Philippines. Thailand has been at the top of our list for a while. Chiang Mai specifically, because it's said to be known to have like a lot of digital nomads, and we work remotely, so it only made sense that we come out here. And we're actually both plant-based as well, so we're both vegans. And Chiang Mai is actually the vegan capital of Asia. So we were super excited to come out here, try out the food, and yeah,
So far it's been amazing.
it's been the best throughout the entire trip so far. So yeah, what you saying?
Yeah, same thing.
All right, whatever.
Loving the food and
Loving
the
the food.
fruits, the roadside fruits. It's been amazing. Yeah.
All right, so I'll be asking just a few questions. I hope you don't mind, just about your experience. You've already told me, but I'll just go a bit deeper, just so for my audience, just to know, like as you've already explained. But like, how old are you? Like, for example, your age, and what made you choose I want to travel? What's the back end story of your traveling? How old you are, and what's your backstory?
For sure. So I'm 28.
I'm 27.
Yeah, and backstory for traveling was, it was always something that we knew that we wanted to do. But again, like during those times where you're thinking about it, you're kind of waiting for what is like maybe a perfect time, but you come to realize that there actually is no perfect time. So we just didn't want to, feel like we should have started sooner. So we just went ahead, made it happen, and again, like I said, just stop waiting for that perfect time and just stop making excuses. Right?
Yeah. For myself, like I just grew up watching a lot of YouTubers traveling, and they would do it for long periods of time, and I was like, how do they do that? So yeah, KT basically helped us find a way to work from home, and if you can work from home, you can work from anywhere. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, so it's an amazing story, because it correlates to why I'm traveling. Like you said, you had to take a leap of faith, and you said you wanted to work online and stuff like that. So can you just tell us what do you specifically do, if you don't mind? You don't have to tell us the whole detail. What are you? I kind of know what you are, but like you can just give a glimpse of what's your work.
For sure. So we run a content agency. So we help coaches and influencers create content that performs well online. So we don't actually make the videos ourselves, but we do have a team that helps us create the videos. So yeah, that's what we do.
All right. And how long have you been doing this business?
About a year and a half.
Nice. Okay. So before you what was the journey? Did you just start, or were you working somewhere? How did it come about? Like she already told me, she said you helped you guys travel. Like, how did it come about? Like, so some people are like, I was tired of my work, for example, for me. Others are like, no, I just thought I could just travel, like, So how did it become? Like, how did it start?
For sure. Well, I always knew like I wanted to run my own business, and like I have experience with other businesses that I've run in the past. Like I tried drop shipping. I used to like resell sneakers, and I saw some short-term success with those businesses, but they were a little streaky and unpredictable. So I wanted to get into something that, you know, could be a little more sustainable. And I tried to run my own agency in the past as well, but she wasn't really involved. And we lived together at that time. So I thought, like, she has experience with video editing and, you know, content creation in general. So that's how I came across this idea where, okay, I'm trying to run an agency, but I want to be able to leverage her skills and abilities as well and work with her. So that's how this idea came about. And yeah, here we are now.
Nice. Right. So obviously it's the same story. You followed Katie. It's a nice love story, which is amazing. So like the audience that watches, they obviously like to travel. They want to hear stories and that you explain. So now I just want to go a bit away from kind of your work. So I want to hear your experiences as a, I'll say, black couple in, like, I'll say in Asia, Chiang Mai. How has been your experience? How have people been treating you as like a black couple?
For sure. I mean, yeah, everybody been dropping the smiles at me. You know what I'm saying? Even when we met, like, you know what I'm saying? I know you're black too, but, you know, you were smiling at me right off the bat.
Exactly.
And it was interesting too because we were in Japan a few months ago, and we were there for about 3 months. And something that we talked about a lot in Japan was, you know, people don't really look at you and people don't really smile at you. So when looking back at Japan, being out here in Thailand, it's a completely different vibe. A lot more people are prone to look at you and smile. So it's been great, honestly. I feel like the recognition that we get and the way that people interact with us and the way that people look at us has been very positive.
Nice.
And we actually, like I said, we came from the Philippines as well. She's from the Philippines. And over there, yeah, people were definitely acknowledging us a lot more as well. So Thailand, Philippines, similar in that sense, but Chiang Mai has been fire, bro, fire.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's kind of the same experience as like I got. So that's why I'm asking that. And thanks for sharing that story, because that's how we vibed. Okay,
Yeah.
so some people, you meet like a black person, then sometimes they don't even look at each other.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm always like, I'm a happy person, as you probably have seen, but I'm doing a lot of connection. Why are we traveling? So we have these good connections and stuff like that.
Okay.
So now you've traveled to Japan and all of that, right? So did you mention where you're from or earlier on?
Right, no, we didn't. We're from Canada.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure that he said you're from Philippines.
Well, my parents are from the Philippines, but I was born in Canada.
Okay, so how did you end up moving to? Did you just went to stay with your family in Canada?
Oh, in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just visited my grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so now I'll direct it more to her. All right. So you've been, you know, you kind of know Asia, I guess, because you're from Philippines. I'm not sure.
I mean, it was my first time going to the Philippines. When I went, and like the last time that I went was when I was like 2 years old or something. So it was a long time ago.
Okay, so you've basically been a Canadian citizen, like.
Yeah, exactly.
So you like him, basically the whole. Okay, so I should actually be asking you more into. So, for you, how has your experiences been in Asia? Because you're Asian, so like, how has your experience been? Like.
Well, I mean, in each country it's been different. Japan, I went when I was younger, and I learned a little bit of the language, but it's a lot different when you're visiting as a child versus an adult. But it was still really fun. And then the Philippines, I got to practice my language, which was really nice, and to like just see where my parents came from was really beautiful. And then Thailand is just, it's kind of a combination of the two in the sense that like everyone here is like super friendly, kind of like in the Philippines, and Japanese people are friendly too, but just not as social, I guess, with foreigners.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we love it here. It's been really nice.
Nice, and also you're obviously an interracial couple. This is also a kind of way my channel goes in. So my audience would like to know, how is it like dating interracially, I'll say. So you as a black person dating an Asian, and you dating a black guy. Okay, so this is the content I do. I date myself like that sometimes. Yeah, but yeah, so can you tell me, I'll just start with you and then I'll go.
Well, I had that full time to think. Well, I think the most beautiful part is getting to experience like a whole different culture, and being at like his mom's house, like she does like coffee ceremonies that my family doesn't do, and it's a whole thing. But it's like they do it like every Sunday or when family visits, which is so beautiful. And I've been exposed to Habesha food, which is just amazing. Have you had Habesha food before?
No, what is it? Ethiopian, no.
It's like injera and like sauces and stuff.
It's crazy because I'm African, but I don't eat any African food. I should actually travel in Africa.
They spend too much time in Asia.
I know. They always say you go where you feel like you want, because you feel like in Africa, I already know it in a way. The people are the same as me. So you always want something different.
Right.
Yeah, like you're not in America or around in South America, but you'd rather come here.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, you're saying it's that food. What's the name?
Ethiopian, Habesha, Eritrean, like.
Okay,
yeah,
maybe my audience would know. I don't know.
Yeah, injera.
Comment down below if you know injera.
Yeah.
And if you love shiro.
Yeah, and tell us how it is. Maybe I'll be educated.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you ever go to Bangkok, there's a great restaurant
Is
there.
it? Oh, okay. You'll let me know. Wait. All right. So and also how has your family been receptive? But I would think they are more Western, so maybe it would be different. But it's nice to hear how did they accept your kind
How
of
they accept him?
Yeah, like your relationship and being together.
Well, they were very accepting, and I feel like that's the thing about living in Canada. Is it's such a multicultural country, so there was no like hurdles or anything to hop over.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
They love him.
All right, nice. I like to hear my brothers dating everywhere, man. Like it's amazing, man. When I saw you guys, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And I told my friend, I'm like, you see, this is why, like, I'm here, like to experience different cultures. Because when you date, you ask, like she said, the family, I'm eating this. You see, now it's like I'm in a different country, but I'm eating, like I'm in my same country, but I'm eating food of a different country,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'd never heard of Ethiopian food before him.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like when it's like you're coming to Chiang Mai, but you're not really in Chiang Mai, so you're dating someone from Thai in your country. So before you even came here, we already know, for example, there's attire, there's this, you're like, it's amazing. And then for you, how has it been like, or has there been any challenges?
For sure. I mean, growing up, man, I had a lot of Filipino friends, so I felt like I already kind of like vibe with Filipinos. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly, just being in the Philippines like last month or whatever it was, bro, like you feel the energy too. I feel like Filipinos like black people. I definitely get that energy. You know what I'm saying? So,
I heard a lot of them.
Yeah. Like they love basketball. They love Kobe.
Yeah.
So like, I felt like on that side, it was a pretty smooth transition. Like I never felt like her family didn't welcome me or what have you.
Wow.
But on the other side, like growing up, I had a lot of relatives who would always try and get me to, like you gotta find an Ethiopian woman. You gotta be with someone who's from your culture. That was always put on me, right? But it was so funny because as I like reflected on it, I was getting relationship advice from people who didn't really seem to be in like happy relationships. But they were just like, you need to keep the culture, you need to keep it going. But I had the awareness to recognize that they didn't have a relationship that I wanted. So I wasn't gonna take that advice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, I'm doing my own thing. Like just like with traveling. Like they're all trying to tell me go to school, get a job, and I'm like, you guys are giving me advice, but y'all don't have the life that I want to live. You know what I'm saying? So it was the same deal with like my relationship. It was like I should be taking relationship advice from someone who seems to be in a happy relationship, but that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of created my own perception with my own eyes, and I found the woman that I was attracted to. She wasn't black, but but we vibed and we had that energy that like intuitively, like I knew was real. So yeah, man, that's what I went with. And now, like, my family is obsessed with her. They love her.
Wow.
You know, but it was just a matter of me being bold enough to make my own decision, you know, based on what was best for me, not like trying to please y'all, like trying to go to college to please y'all, trying to date the person that would please y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just that's what it all comes down to, is just living the life that
You want.
you want to live, you know?
I love what you said, because there was a video I just did, like I was talking about same thing. I'm like, I left my country because of that. It was related to what you're saying. I was like, I didn't want to do what people are telling me to. I had like a job. So exactly what you're saying. Most people are traveling, they are thinking, no, they want to do their own thing, which is amazing. You see, now we have a great life with her. Imagine if you're like, let me just follow. Now you sacrifice her and your dreams and stuff like that. Now you're creating I think a great story, obviously, together. And how long have you been with her, like, together?
Together 6 years.
Dang,
Yeah, we've been together
that's
6 years.
amazing.
Crazy.
Wow.
We celebrated our 6 years
That's
in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
That's long.
It's a long time.
What's the advice to make a long-term relationship?
Be friends.
Be friends. Wow.
Be homies.
Yeah, that's actually good.
Be friends.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
be friends and work on the relationship. Understand that it's not gonna be smooth, man. Like, it's not gonna always be perfect, and you have to almost like welcome the challenges. And if you can do so with like a positive mindset, you can minimize the amount of time spent fighting and arguing and all that shit, because it's inevitable. You're gonna
Yeah.
go through challenges, but if you approach the relationship with the understanding that you will run into those challenges, when they do present themselves, you know how to approach them.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like, you kind of prepare together as a team.
Exactly. You're prepared
Yes.
for them.
Wow. Okay. And then I just wanted to double check with you, like, my audience they'll be watching. Maybe some are like, there's a stereotype dating Asian. Was it like that for you, or you're like, no, it's just I want you to clarify for people, so they're like, this person is so different to me. For me, what I find, you all the same, but I'm not sure. Most people are like, why would I date this, or it's so different to me. You know what you're saying, cultural aspects. Like, for you, was it any different, or you're like, no, we're just vibing, and like, she's Asian, I don't care. Was it anything like that for you?
Not at all. It was just about the vibe.
Okay.
It was just the energy. But again, like she said, we're from Canada, so it's different, because in Canada, you got Indians, you got Asians, you got black people, you got white people, right? Whereas, like, you know, I feel like in different parts of the world, it might be a bigger deal,
Okay.
right? But in Canada, not so much.
All right. Okay, cool. Nice. Thank you. This was perfect interview. Just your last end of the video. Can you give, two of you, like, you can give advice about starting a new life, not being scared. What advice would you tell people who maybe want to travel like you? Maybe they'll be saying, I can't do it, or they like scared. What would your advice? Some people want to travel, or even in dating, it could be any between dating or traveling. You can start.
For sure. I mean, if you're someone who's interested in traveling the world, just know that traveling just isn't all fun and games. You know, there's an insane amount of growth that comes from traveling. So if you are someone who is into self-development, you want to expand your perception of the world, you just want to be a better version of you, traveling will do that for you. It's not just about like entertainment. And I feel like that's what the misconception is. But the approach that we've taken, as well as Tabo, with traveling is it's a long-term approach. So you really get the chance to adapt yourself in these new locations, which forces you to, you know, adjust very frequently. And you increase your tolerance to stress as a result, becoming a better version of yourself. So as I said earlier on in the video, there is no such thing as a perfect time. Start now, just move forward, and all the dots will connect themselves.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow, amazing. What about the lady, the missus?
I guess, like, when it comes to relationships or travel or just doing things that like you're afraid to do, just not being afraid of like fear is a natural feeling, but the more that you conquer fear, the more fearless you become, and the more easier these obstacles will feel, and like the more experiences you'll be welcome to, the more connections. So embracing fear.
Amazing. All right. Yeah, that's great. So do you have any social that if they want to follow you or they want to work with you?
Yeah, no doubt. Yo, we actually have a joint Instagram page where we share our travels.
Perfect.
You know, business tips, just ways to make money online. So you can follow us on Instagram at KTLE Jane. So that's KTL like Linda,
Okay.
E
Like Ellie.
and then Jane at KTLE Jane.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. It was
Appreciate you.
amazing.
Shout out Tabo.
Yeah. Thanks.